Dipendra Singh Airee now has a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Did miss something, Mel, sorry, in amongst everything. When he got to 6, he has become the latest batter to 1,000 ODI runs for Nepal, so many congratulations. He's the 5th batter in history to do that for Nepal, and the 4th batter for Nepal to have 1,000 runs in both ODIs and T20Is. He would absolutely love to make that landmark today in a winning call, but to do so, well, he probably is going to need to get 70 or 80 plus, isn't he? KC to come, but still 140 needed. It's a long way away. 14 overs to get there. It's exactly 10 an over required, and Nepal are left with it all to do. Scotland, they've been really good in basically all of the departments, barring those couple of drop catches that they put down. And can they apply the clamp hold and close things out? Good length from Castle. He's done that nicely today.
Yeah, he has done it nicely. He's just kept things under control without necessarily having been able to come in and take the wickets. A few more shout-outs as well, because everyone's now watching as this game gets to what could be an exciting finish. Badesh is walking around with a speaker so that he doesn't miss a single ball. Angel watching on from Newcastle in Australia.
Powered into the air. Mid-on, Barrington up in the circles, so that's why Kami's taking that on, taking the aggressive route. Will get 2, but won't get 3.
And I've got to say hello to Prasida as well from Milan, who has exams tomorrow, and he's got 2 friends, Basme and Saswat, watching in the ground, and he'd love to be here as well. It's amazing, just everywhere around the world, people watching from. Niraz is waiting for a flight in Vietnam.
Big swing and a miss. Yeah, great thing about ICC TV, available live and free all the way around the world. Great to have your company with us. Over 10 runs required per over. The task is getting very tall here now for Nepal. And I think with that dismissal of Jah, Scotland will just feel a lot more comfortable, a lot more confident. It is getting gloomy. There's no chance of rain, I don't think at all, but it's just getting a bit cold, a bit chilly, and Nepal are going to need something to warm them up here. You surprised with Kami coming in ahead of KC, or is it too soon for KC?
Still, yeah, still, it's a bit like the Michael Leask argument or conundrum, isn't it? And when you're wanting to come on, as it turns out, Michael Leask came on at a terrific time in the previous innings. But they've still got to look a couple of really good overs, and you feel they're right back in it, but they do need a couple of really good overs soon.
Well, that's picked up, and that's going to go all the way. He's got a very good technique to Sompal Kami. He's got the accomplished skills of somebody who could bat in the top order. And Castle probably not at that pace to bowl that length, and because it's at that end, it's a 59-metre boundary in theory, but in reality with the wind and the angle and the hill, it's about feels like a 50-metre one. Too easy. Nice hit from Kami, all the way for 6.
And they might have to get a new ball unless, oh no, Mark Watt has managed to find it. Gee, they've had some work to do. If you're watching from over in one of those houses, you might find a few balls floating around in your backyard a day after a game like this. You talk about those big overs, right? Well, if 8 off this over, not enough. Another boundary would help.
That will help. Pump down the ground. This game is by no means over. Remember, Nepal have the wild card, the X factor, the brilliance of Karen KC to come. The 2 at the crease aren't too bad either. Sompal Kami and Dipendra Singh Airee. Are we bubbling up for another classic here? 196 for 6.
Oh, Lenny, I feel we could be. That just becomes a very good over. 12 runs coming from it. So staying ahead of the run rate, it's those a couple of overs where they get up to 16, 18 runs. If they can have a couple of those, all of a sudden it comes into focus. Now Leask, can he be the man of the moment once more? Pumped for 6, first ball of his last over by Gulshan Jar. Got the wicket with the second ball. Really out of it for long.
Just under 10 and over required. It's not out of the question, is it? And these 3 overs feel kind of important as well. They can't afford a couple of tight overs. Got to keep the scoreboard moving. But it's so tricky, isn't it? Because Airee's going to want the second here. He's very quick, but sends Kami back. You're kind of trying to score and accumulate runs at a swift rate whilst not being able to afford to lose any wickets. It's that horrible jeopardy.
That run rate required has just fallen under 10 again. So that's the way they want to keep it heading south. And you can see now the rotation of strike, left hand, right hand. Can they keep? Oh, it's no longer left hand, right hand.
You had a great day up there.
Oh, look, I've up until that moment, sorry, I had a flashback to Gulshan Jar still
That's
being
okay.
there. And I realised it straight away, I would like to point out. But the point is rotating the strike and keeping it ticking over. But for Scotland, if Lees can just keep it tight, at the end of this over, it makes up for that 12-run over last time.
Goes in the air, round the corner, so nearly to Richie Barrington. It's that angle he loves bowling. Like, Lees quite likes bowling to right-handers. You think off-spinners don't, but he uses that round the wicket angle so cleverly. The tall enough man gets that bit of bounce, and, well, Kami just got in a horrible tangle. That could have gone anywhere.
It really could. Now, if he can keep it tight here, this last ball of the over, expect they might go for it.
Helped around the corner, over the head of Richie Barrington. Really in full control, Airee. But the Nepal fans are roaring it on to the rope, and they will get a comfortable third. The 200 has come up in that over. 38 bowled, 203 for 6. You can see here, I'm going to show a couple of graphics here. Nepal are actually ahead of where they need to be from a run scoring perspective. But if you look at the Manhattan chart, the over by over, you'll see here, look at that flying, flourishing finish from Scotland in the darker blue. That's why Nepal still have it all to do.
And a huge part of that is Michael Leask just bowling that last over. And it's going to be Mark Watt returning now. We knew we'd see him again. Interesting, he's bringing Mark Watt back now and not saving him for the end. He might, maybe, will he save one over for the end? Or
I think he's just maybe trying to kill the game now. A couple of tight overs doesn't kill it, but a wicket certainly does. And again, the problem for Nepal, they can't just play out these 3 overs. They have to accumulate runs off them. It's a real challenge. Will Airee look for the big power hit into the leg side? Or is he just going to be happy to nudge it around? For the moment, he'll nudge it around. And he's so quick, he's somehow going to get 2. That's a 57, 58 metre boundary. And he's just dropped and run 2. And he hasn't even got it to the 30-yard circle. Incredible stuff.
That really is. You would say for at least 90% of batting partners, I reckon, in international cricket, that would only have been 1. I honestly do. They are so quick. I'm not even sure if you can appreciate it watching on from home, but it is really impressive.
Won't be able to get 2 this time. Is it straight to Safian Sharif? You surprised he's only bowled the 2 overs? Bowled really well most of the series thus far.
Yeah, he was a bit expensive in his first couple of overs, uncharacteristically so. But again, he is often called on at the death. And so we might see his experience come in. He had to do a bit of mopping up almost after some of the younger bowlers were a bit expensive against the Netherlands the other day. He's got experience to turn to, Richie Berrington.
Beats the cut shot of Kami. Every tight over here is going to really make things ever so more difficult. If you're wondering how cold it is, we've had hot water bottles brought to us again, badly needed at this juncture. It's gone really chilly. Berrington again is in action, and Dipendra Singh Airee will just run two. It's great game awareness. And Kami, oh, they might think of a third. Just constantly puts you under pressure, doesn't he?
Well, and that's what he does. It's not just the fact he's running quickly, but he's always putting the fielders under pressure, and you see them making some uncharacteristic little errors, and that's just because they're so quick off the mark.
Even Mark Watt, who's played a lot of cricket up this neck of the woods, is struggling to keep any blood circulation in his hands. It's freezing cold all of a sudden again.
I've got the, thank goodness for this hot water bottle, and I've put on my 5th layer. I've got my jumper and my jacket bought from a Broughty Ferry charity shop.
It's not coming so much from the wind today, but just general chill in the air. Airee seems to be happy, doesn't he, just to work it round. Is that a sign that he thinks he can explode in the last 10? He's trying to take this innings a bit deeper.
It's a bit of a risk within itself, isn't it? Because Mark Watt still with a couple of overs remaining, as we just see that little fumble from Matt Cross that led to an extra run. So that run rate required up to 10.36. So we just look at where this is. Nepal, another win here. Boy, would that put them in pole position with all those games in hand. Scotland, another win, takes them level with Oman.
Just a quick word on the Netherlands. Where are they at with those, not just back-to-back defeats, but for the first time in this series, 3 consecutive defeats, if you include the drubbing they took on the final day last month in Utrecht?
I mean, they're at the right end of the table. They've also played more games than anyone else, so everyone's going to be playing catch-up now for the Netherlands. But yeah, it's unusual to see them sort of in that position, but it goes back to how this league just tests teams over such a long period of time. And over 2.5 years, you're going to have I guess a lot of times, you're going to have a run of games where maybe you're not at your best for a whole variety of reasons.
Still looked a bit out of sorts, haven't they? A couple of those defeats that, I know they dominated much of the first innings, but once Scotland got over 250, ended up with 260 plus, you just felt that like they were never really going to chase it without Scott Edwards. And in the game against Nepal that opened this series for them was, well, very one-sided, wasn't it? Indeed.
They just looked a bit lackluster or a bit out of sorts, whatever it was.
Yeah, absolutely. Fully agree with you. Here comes Brandon McMullen. He's going to return. One thing that these two will do is run everything, so probably not going to see too many dot balls, are we? And you do get a sense, don't you, that there's not a belief that Nepal can win this, but there's just kind of a growing belief that they might give it a crack. They're ahead of where Scotland were. I know they're 6 down, but don't rule out seeing something special here. That's all I'm saying.
You know I don't. You know I don't.
This is a big hit that's probably going to fall into no man's land. I don't think anyone's going to get there. They'll pick up a couple. A little bit of fortune for Sompal Kami. Difficult to drive, isn't he, Brandon McMullen? Always seems to keep it out of that arc. That was a risky stroke.
Well, it was, because if it had gone even a metre in any other direction, there were 3 fielders who were all just about a metre short of where they might have been needed to be to actually make an attempt at a catch. So Brandon McMullen, he does often come back well in his later spells.
Good delivery from McMullen this time. He's got great knack. It's only because the keeper can come up to the stumps to him of keeping the ball out of the driving arc. He's able to hit a good length. He's very controlled with his lengths. And his comeback spells have got better and better. Bowled 6 on the bounce, opening up. He might have to bowl quite a bit in this third power play here. This goes straight up. Is this one going to be held? Again, out of the driving arc. Somehow falls into no man's land again. Will result in another couple.
Well, Charlie Tear, he did tear in. Like, he covered a huge amount of ground to try and get himself in to take that catch. Living a bit dangerously. They're just finding it really hard to put McMullen away. Again, look, that's right up there. It's not giving them much at all, just bowling good lengths and keeping it tight. The only two balls that have gone for 2 runs, well, those balls could have ended up being caught.
You know, all it takes is 1 or 2 good overs like this when the opposition need 10 and over plus to get that starting to spiral out of control. Good comeback this from McMullen. So it'll just be 6 from his return over unless Airee can somehow run 2. Surely not. That was hit straight to Safi and Sharif. And Airee has taken the most regulation single and converted it into a double. It will be 7 from the over. It's 217 for 6.
What superb running between the wickets from this pair. That really was outstanding. That's a few times we've basically seen them turn 1s into 2s. Great stuff.
Where's Richie Barrington plotting his final 10 over from? There's no doubt Watt will bowl 2 of them. Looks like he's going to bowl first one now. Where are the other 8 coming from?
Well, Brandon McMullen, you imagine, will keep going here because even with the 2 coming off that last ball, it was still reasonably tight. It's still underneath the run rate. So we might see them continue for a while. Again, you see that fast running just inspires a little fumble from the skipper, and that is just because he knows how quick they are, and all of a sudden they're feeling that they've got to just pick up that ball so quickly and fire it in. You get the little fumble.
It's applying pressure. That's all it's doing. Now, will Kami look to hit to the short side? Down the leg side, and it will be 2 wides.
How is that?
Might get 3 wides. Airee wants it, but Kami sends him back. There's a little bit of chaos kicking in out there, and it's all being sparked by Dipendra Singh Airee. He's just so quick. There's even a smile on Mark Watt's face.
It's being done in a different way. It's not the pressure that's coming from the big bombs down the field and, you know, the big sixes. It's from this quick running between the wickets.
Swept around the corner. And I think that'll be swept for 4 out towards us. No, Sharif does enough. They will think of a third. They're going to take it on. Big appeal, but gets safely home. Great running again. Excellent stuff. Dipendra Singh Airee getting a willing foil and an ally in Sompal Kami. You can't take your eyes off this.
Well, you can't. That was good cricket all around. Don't take your eyes from it. It's a terrific shot. It was wonderful fielding by Sharif in the end to cut off the boundary. A good throw in, cross quick with his hands, but brilliant running between the wickets.
It was a good stop by Sharif, wasn't it? Looked like it was going to go for 4 at first. Big appeal here. Umpire immediately walks away. Dipendra Singh Airee runs through for a leg by. Action every ball now. You just cannot take your eyes off it. And Nepal officially need 100 to win. This was the run out. The dive got him home. Great decision from umpire Ghazi.
Oh, really well done. Actually, I didn't realise got home with by some distance as well, thanks to that dive.
It's frenetic, isn't it? It's absolutely frenetic.
Well, it's the running between the wickets. It's got my heart rate going.
Well, they've already got 8 runs from 4 deliveries in this over and haven't hit a boundary yet.
It's amazing.
There's different ways to skin a cat, isn't there?
Yes.
Different ways to to get the nearly 2 runs a ball they need. It's a little bit less. It's approaching 11 runs per over. Mark Watt just asking the square leg umpire how many to come. 2 is the correct answer. Bit of pressure being applied on the home side. Few demons there for them, of course. They'll know that Karen KC is to come. Again, Airee wants to. Surely not this time, no. One of the things I adore about them, Rohit Paudel does it really well too. I don't know what spikes they wear when they bat, because they almost slide in and out, glide as they turn for their second run, and it really kind of increases the speed. Bit of a whip into the leg side. Airee's going to want to. He's going to get it easy again to the short side. Fantastic running. 11 runs from the over. Very little risk taken. That's exactly what Nepal need. They're staying in the hunt in this chase. It's cardiac kids time. Get the defibrillators out. Game on. 2:28 for 6. Doubt there can be a more entertaining team in the world to watch than these two, actually, let alone this one of Nepal. 45 off 32 they've put on. It's been an all-action partnership. Remember, Karen KC is still to come. He's at number 9 with the broad shoulders. And Scotland, well, the question I just asked you as to who's going to bowl the last 10. There seems to be all sorts of discussions happening out there. They'll settle on Brandon McMullen to continue. There is a problem, though, at the death. Not maybe as graphic a problem that Nepal have at the death, but whether it's Charlie Castle or the debutante Mackenzie Jones, McMullen hasn't bowled much at the death. I know Mark Watt bowled the final over 6 days ago. Whoever's bowling, you wouldn't think of them as death specialists, would you?
Yeah, you certainly wouldn't. I can see what he's trying to do in getting his economical bowlers in now. The problem is these two are just so quick. It's incredible how many runs they are scoring by running.
And what they've also done now, they've applied the lever of pressure to a point where really even those in the circle aren't saving a single. So they're not going to be able to bowl many dot balls. The only way you'll really get a dot ball is a play and miss, or maybe one back at the bowler. Every single man in the circle's right on the edge of it. Fantastic pressure from Nepal, and it's been applied in unison, really, equally by Dipendra Singh Airee and Sompal Kami. What can they get on the last 5? Do they just keep batting like this for the moment? They haven't really looked for the boundaries in the last couple of overs.
Yeah, it's a really interesting point. They are going to have to try and go bigger at some point. They are going to need boundaries to get there.
This has gone into the offside. Sharif has pressure put on him, but will keep it to a single. Does well there.
Yeah, at some point, they're going to have to try and go for boundaries. It's got to come.
Charlie Tier has just asked for a third jumper. Let's put it on if you're wondering how chilly it is out there. He's got the long sleeve, the short sleeve, and then the long sleeve over the top of it. All happening. Well, it is brewing up towards another classic finish. Scotland still very much favourites, even though Nepal are actually ahead of them in terms of the at this stage comparison, if you will. At the end of the 42nd over in the first innings. See, they're even running a single there. That's straight to the man in the circle.
Unbelievable.
And they still take the one. It's tip and run stuff. So yeah, at the end of the 42nd over, Scotland were 217 for 5. So, Nepal are going to be well ahead of that. The problem was it was chaos in particularly the last 5 or 6 overs. From the 46th through to the 50th, every over was double digits. 15, 13, 13, 10, 10, 21. That's the last 6 overs. So the belief is starting to build. Nepal are well ahead of where Scotland were at this stage, but they're not going to be able to do it in 1s and 2s that they're getting at the moment. They're going to have to start finding some boundaries.
Yes, they're doing brilliantly running between the wickets, and they've picked up quite a few extra runs.
I think they're going to try for 2 here. It's perfectly weighted. So easy. This is a template of every cricket coach around the world clip the last 4 overs and show it to your young boys and girls.
Yes.
It's a great way to play cricket. It's a great way to watch cricket. They might not have enough to get home. They will need to find some boundaries, but they're definitely changing this game. End of the 42nd, 2:35 for 6. Really exciting game all of a sudden we have in our hands from nowhere. 50 partnership comes up. It's come up off just 38 deliveries, and both have just nudged it around. They've done no more.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's like you say, it's tip and run, but boy, can they run. It's been lightning between the wickets. And, okay, the big boundaries haven't come yet, and they're going to have to come if they're going to see this home. But they haven't wasted any balls. They can start to take a few risks in terms of hitting to that shorter side. Again, 59, 58 metres, something like that, with a pretty strong breeze. You can just hear it. I've just come out of our little commentary thing. You can probably hear it through the microphone. What's that? 20, 25 kilometres per hour. Pretty strong. Get it up and into that wind, and you should be able to get good reward, not just with 4s, but maybe 6s. Now, Safian Sharif has lots of experience, and he's got lots of protection on the leg side. Long on, deep mid-wicket, and deep backward square is out. The only man in the circle will be a fine leg, the skipper himself, Barrington, who's going to stay up in the circle. Is this an over here for Nepal to target? You think they have to. This is the one. Sharif was expensive in his first 2 overs, went for 15, but at this point in time, back into the attack. This could be crucial, this over.
Only 2 men in the deep on the offside. Deep backward point and long off is out. Where is Sharif going to target? Will he look full? Does look full. Tended to see that was what he tried to do to Karen Case. He did it really well, didn't he? I think in overs 45 and 47. And then when it came to over 49, that was the crucial one. KC got a low full toss, hit it over the clubhouse, and then the momentum just changed.
Yeah, that was the biggest 6 of the day. That one from Karen Casey. And he's bowling from a different end this time. Safian Sharif from that last game where he was bowling towards the end from the pavilion end.
This is interesting. Slight change in the field. Deep backward square comes into the circle, and both deep backward point and deep cover point go out. They know that Airee loves to cut. So Airee will try to get it round the corner. Sharif thinks this was close. How far across did Airee come? Leg by given. No. Says there's bat involved. No interest at all from the umpire, was there?
None. So he did step across a long way. Yeah,
big piece of bat involved.
Smashed it, middled it.
What are Safian Sharif and Matthew Cross watching? Come on, guys. Good decision. Giving his runs rightly. Full toss. Hit into the offside. Hit away for 4. Don't rule out seeing something unbelievable for the second time in a week here in Nepal. The Cardiac Kids on the charge again.
Well, Sharif started off the over tightly, but on this occasion he just gave him enough room. He backed away as well, and the full toss, which is what we'd spoken about, where he erred in the previous loss.
Back live with you now, clipped into the leg side, should be just a single. Kami's an incredibly capable batter, completely different to his great friend Karen KC, who's a bit more agricultural and a bit more powerful, but Kami is technically very correct. Like that shot there, right out of the textbook through the covers. And it was an interesting move. I think there would definitely have been a temptation to send Karen KC in before Sompal Kami, given KC's hot streak of form in this series, but they still have him up their sleeve. It's still under 12 and over quad. This is whipped into the leg side. I think they're going to want 2 again. They're going to get it again. Scotland are being run ragged in the field here. It's not through power hitting, it's just through placement. And the most remarkably exceptional piece of athleticism I've probably ever seen displayed running between the wickets. Incredible.
I don't think I've ever seen running between the wickets this good. I genuinely mean that. It's been incredible to watch. They must have picked up at least 20 runs that they shouldn't have, or that you would not normally see taken.
into the block hole. Sharif gets it right, but somehow, I don't know how, they're going to get two again. Direct hit might have made it interesting. It is taking some risks, it is pushing some envelopes, but Nepal are finding a way to get the 11 runs required per over that they need. It's 11 off that one. I think a direct hit would have been very close, actually would have been home. Yeah. Exceptional athleticism from Airee and Kami. This is quite brilliant. 246 for 6.
Well, staying in touch with it, and they're doing so simply because they are so quick. It's like the pitch is only 18 yards long. That's that.
We're back to under 11s, are we? Back to under 11s.
It really is, though. It just seems to have less distance to cover because they are so rapid.
Well, how is everyone feeling at home? What about you in Scotland? What about those in Edinburgh, Glasgow or Aberdeen? Are you feeling that Scotland are going to start to sense a bit of deja vu? Remember, they lost an all-time classic, one of the greatest ODIs in the history of the game, to this same opposition 6 days ago. And what about back in Nepal and around the world? What are you feeling? Who's ahead of the game? Where's it going to go? Here's Brandon McMullen whipped into the leg side. It's going to be another two going to Sompal Kami. He's played brilliantly. He's catching up with Dipendra Singh Airee. So wherever you are in the world, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what you're thinking. Use that hashtag CWCL2. Send us in a message. Are you in Kathmandu, in Janakpur, in Biratnagar, in Bir Gunj, in Nepal Gunj, wherever you are? Are you out in Sudar Pashim in the far west? Are you waiting for Karen KC to get in there? Where's this game going to go? Well, that's going to help. No, Cross does enough. He has flung himself to his left here. I think it's come off some part of Sompal Kami's body. Let's have a look at this here. Keep your eyes on Matthew Cross. Oh, it wasn't Cross. It's off the gloves or maybe the arm. Giving his leg by. He's going to need some assistance. Our monitor doing me no favours at all. Again, we've got a classic building up here, Mel. Nepal have never scored more than 300 in their ODI history. They've only done it once. That was against Oman. They've never scored a total this high. So 310 for 8 they made in the ACC Premier 2 years ago at their home ground at the TU. But the running between the wickets is causing the brains trust. Captain, vice-captain, and maybe the captain of the future, Mark Watt, very much saying, well, hold on, what's going on here? How are they back in this contest? We've dominated 80% of it.
It really is a conundrum, and now Berrington has to work out what he's going to do to make up the rest of these overs. He's almost got himself into a pickle because he's had to use Mark Watt. He's had to turn to Brandon McMullen, and what is he going to have left over? He's got a debutant, remember. He's got Charlie Castle, who's been unable to find a breakthrough today. Sharif, Leask still has overs.
Still aren't hitting boundaries, so that's why Scotland shouldn't be panicking. This time it's McMullen who has to cut off the second. But the 250 is up, and Nepal, they're hanging about, and there's a big throng of Nepal fans across to the scoreboard here who are really starting to believe. They must be icy cold. I think they're seeing that they're on the screen. They're clapping the 252. Well, you'd hardly believe it. Nepal and their fans, the amazing colour that they bring, staying in this contest. Airee's going to want to here. He turns, he goes, he gets there comfortably. Charlie Tier does the fielding.
Charlie Tier is quick too. He must be one of the quickest in the Scotland side when he's running along the outfield. And even he can't prevent the second run. It has been quite something. And this is, in its own way, as spectacular as the pyrotechnics from Karen Casey, this running between the wickets.
Into the slot, hammered, high, handsome. That's all the way. An outstanding strike from Sompal Kami. They're starting to believe here in the crowd. I think they're probably starting to believe back in Nepal too. Scotland are thinking, not again. Nearly 11 p.m. in Kathmandu. There won't be many going to bed yet.
Oh, hold on to your horses. We are here again. waiting for the big strike, and there it comes. It was just a little bit over pitched, and my goodness, that has made a mess of the equipment sheds here. Don't go anywhere. Goes again, and he's going to be 6 again. Back-to-back sixes, and all of a sudden, the balance of power in this game shifting towards Nepal. Oh, they're all watching at Ted's shed, and they can't believe what they're seeing. This time, just clattered, lovely clean strike of the ball. Are we witnessing something special yet again?
And it's Kami with the back-to-back maximums that has the required run rate at 10 and over. It might be honours even now. Berrington is saying to Watt, well, what do we do? Just heard from one of the Scotland backroom staff, they're saying they're running twos to regulation positions. The fielder hasn't done anything wrong.
No.
They're just simply too quick. An extraordinary turn of events here, being driven by the Cardiac Kids' brilliance. There's a bit of a maniacal nature to it, Mel Farrell, but it is so glorious to watch. You cannot take your eyes off this league. You cannot take your eyes off this side. Nepal are something of a bogey team for Scotland. They're going to need the experience of Safi and Sharif. They need a wicket. Comes off an edge, and it's going to fall just over the head of Mackenzie Jones. They won't run the second this time. Good call. I think Airee got himself in a tangle, didn't know where the ball had gone, and is happy enough with a single, particularly with the way Sompal Kami is striking them.
Well, that was really well fielded by Mackenzie Jones, because he managed to, with all of his weight today, managed to turn and fling the ball back while still on the move, and that has prevented a second run. Even all 6'5" of him wasn't able to prevent that. That's another look at the 6.
Yeah, both sixes back to back here. The first one was beautiful. The second one, imperious. Quite incredible from Sompal Kami.
I've just never seen running between the wicket game like this.
Good Yorker. Nails the Yorker. Excellent from Safi and Sharif. He's had a tricky day with the ball, but they're going to need all his experience. He might have to bowl through here at the death.
I said they just needed a couple of good overs. They have had one that has really brought things back. If they have another 2 good overs, I can really see them taking this home. This is remarkable stuff yet again.
Pumped into the offside. Airee's going to want to. Surely he's not going to get it this time. Good fielding. Such pressure being applied to the fielders, isn't there, Mel? Because of the exceptional nature of the running. But a good start to this over from Safi and Sharif. And just dragging things back for Scotland.
Well, what it's done is their brilliant running between the wickets meant that they were staying in touch with where they needed to be, and then the back-to-back sixes have real impact. They haven't been waiting for the bad balls. It's been absolutely extraordinary.
Pumped into the offside. I think he'll be thinking about 2 here. Well, he doesn't need to run 2 because he's going to get 4. Fielders sprawled across the turf. There's a great sense of belief. They are dancing here in the crowd. Cymbals are clapping. Sheer elation, jubilation, unlike any that I've ever seen. It's quite incredible what we're witnessing.
Oh, can they do it? Can they pull off back-to-back record chases? A dive in the end, not enough to stop it. Those quick singles and 2s have just put them in a position where these boundaries now are taking great effect.
Staggering viewing here in Dundee. Yorker attempted. Airee is going to get to 50. I'm not sure if the crowd have noticed yet. I'm not sure he's even going to care. He moves to 50 of 46 deliveries. Thanks the heavens. Feels as though he's missed out a little bit. If he's there at the death, well, Nepal surely will win. The vice captain, his place was called into as well. Remember, he was averaging just a shade over 18 coming into this tour. It's a fourth one-day international 50 for him to go alongside that 100. Scotland, well, they're hitting the panic button a little bit, aren't they? And Richie Berrington just trying to slow the game down, trying to take the sting out of it. Kami's one away from his landmark. Did Nepal all of a sudden have this control somewhat underhand, somewhat in control, Mel?
Well, just to bring home that point, 50 runs of 46 balls, only 2 boundaries.
They barely hit it. I know Kami had a couple of sixes there. They've run them ragged, literally. Here's Kami on 49. It's going to be 50 for him too. It's come off 34 deliveries, fittingly with another 2. In the history of ODI cricket, for Nepal, it's the 5th fastest, behind only the 19-ball effort of Anil Shah against Canada. There was a 21-ball effort from Asif Sheikh against PNG and a pair of 32-ball efforts from Kushal Malla and Kushal Patel. All 4 of those came at the TU International Cricket Ground. This one comes in Dundee. It's the fastest of Kami's career, and it's been the most brilliant innings. Both batters have been exceptional.
Well, they have, but they've been exceptional not necessarily just from their batting. It's been exceptional from the speed, the lightning speed with which they've run between the wickets. So look at the partnership, that 90 from 56 balls, with 51 contributed from Kami, but most of those being scored with the feet, not by the hands.
And only 5 boundaries in that 90 run accumulation. This is a bit of a roll of the dice here. Mark Watt's going to have a change of ends. They need a wicket this over. They desperately need it, Scotland. Required run rate still hovers around 10 and over. Reminder, Nepal have only passed 300 once in their ODI history. This would be a record total and a record chase. We've got another fantastic finish in our hands, and everyone around the ground is on their feet pretty much now. Cut away behind square. Pressure going to be on Sharif. Can he keep it to 1 this time? Yes, he can. Good fielding.
Excellent fielding, excellent throw back in as well. This is the problem. It's those kinds of balls that have gone to just the regulation fielders that they've been getting 2 on. Absolutely brilliant.
Down the leg side, that'll be given as a wide. That will help. Nepal just had the most brilliant message from back in Nepal. They said Nepal is the only country in the world. This is helped into the leg side, wide of Muckman. He's going to want the second, but says no. Only country in the cricketing world whose highest total in their cricketing history is in T20I cricket, not an ODI cricket, because of course they made 314 against Mongolia. It's a good chance to change that today, he says. It absolutely is.
Yeah. That is a brilliant stat, by the way.
Ridiculous stat. Remember, Airee set a record that day that could never and will never be broken with the 9-ball half century. It's not possible to break it. It could be equalled. If he's there at the death, it'll be his name up in lights yet again for Nepal. 47 to win off 28. Airee is still not hitting boundaries. He just is scoring off every delivery. He must have run, what, 15 or 22s bat alone.
I thought you were about to say 15 or 20 kilometres, because that's felt like it. Oh, look how excited they are getting. And Mark Watt, he's been trying to get that leg stump Yorker going, but he's given away a couple of wides.
Down the leg side again. I don't think this has hit anything. Going to be 2 more wides. You can see what Watt's trying to do. He's trying to spear it into the pads.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about the concept. Nepal don't need 14, 15, 16 and over. They need 10 and over.
That was a ball he was trying to bowl, the last ball of the previous game that they played. Remember, that was called a wide, which ended the game.
Cut to the offside, but straight at Sharif. Ideally, that if they could keep Mark Watt wicketless, Nepal can win this game. They've got 2 more balls to do that with. Can the left arm spinner, the outstanding all-rounder for this Scottish side, can he influence the game with his final 2 deliveries? Well, not yet. Good sweep shot. Nepal are doing this so intelligently, aren't they? The required run rate under 10s.
That's a key, isn't it? Keeping it under 10. I tell you what, if they get to the last 2 overs and they only need 20 runs, you'd be backing them. You'd be backing them to do it in 1s and 2s.
Swept into the leg side, just going to be a single. Mark Watt is going to remain wicketless. And you would imagine that Nepal are maybe holding the aces as we enter the final stage of this match. 4 overs remain. It's exactly 10 and over required. 284 for 6. Well bowled by Mark Watt, but I don't think it's going to be enough unless they can find a wicket or two. Have a look here, Mel. Look at the graphic on your screen now. I said they've only made 13 century partnerships in their history. Make that 14. And it's thanks to a remarkable effort for the 7th wicket from Sompal Kami and Dipendra Singh Airee. This series has been as good as you would ever imagine. 4 unforgettable ODIs in Dundee.
Well, it really has, and it's been different each time. And today, as we see now, Berrington, Castle and Sharif just trying to work out what their plans are. I think it's not panic that set him, being rattled by this running and frustrated because they've been unable to contain them.
And it's very clever from Richie Berrington. Even if he might incur the wrath of the umpires at the end of the game, I think they bowl their overs well in time so he can do this. He's taking out of the game because all the momentum is with Nepal right now. Scotland have to change something. And these are the 2 crunch overs. That wind, 15 to 20 kilometres an hour, 59 metres the leg side, 2 right-handers at the crease. All it takes is a couple of pick-up shots. 3 or 4 boundaries. This game is going to swing heavily towards Nepal, particularly if they're maximums. So Castle is going to say, OK, I'm going to come around the wicket. I'm going to bowl it a long way outside the off stump. And I'm going to try and protect that leg side. It means that square leg will be up in the circle. They'll have the 2 men square in the deep on the offside. And long off will be out as well. Don't go anywhere. It all comes down to this. 40 to win off 4 overs. Oh, well, that's not going to help. That is very nearly a no ball.
Wow. Yeah, well, you're right about protecting the leg side. But this has gone way.
Now, the only reason that's not a no ball, it's the right decision. It is pitched past the stumps. It's one of those strange kind of unique aspects to the laws. I don't think that would have pitched on the playing surface. Cut strip. It's a wide instead of a no ball. Full toss helped into the offside. That's where they want him to hit. And great fielding from the subfielder on Ollie Davidson. He picked up immediately that these guys had been running like the clappers and kept it to a single.
Yeah, so the plan is there. They're trying to bowl dry outside the off stump. Anything that touches the bat, they're going to run. And it feels like this over is so crucial now.
Worked into the leg side. It's going to be another one of those 2s. They've done this so brilliantly, haven't they? Cannot remember a chase in the modern game, let alone years gone by, where they're getting regularly double-digit overs without hitting a boundary.
It's genuinely been the best running between the wickets I've ever seen. I honestly mean that. In any game ever. Nothing like this. This has just been incredible.
They've done all the hard work. Still a lot of work to get over the line. Top edge. This could be the moment that changes things. The debutant comes round and holds on. Oh, what a catch. Under the maximum of pressure, Mackenzie Jones ends a sparkling innings from Dipendra Singh Airee, and the game twists and turns again, and the tactic of Charlie Castle, it works and gets the reward. What a catch this was.
Under pressure, on debut, got himself into a good position, eyes on the ball, took it cleanly. Wow, what a day he is having, Mackenzie Jones. And boy, oh boy, did Scotland need it. But Dipendra Singh Airee, what an innings that has been from him. A marvellous half century. 56 off 51, just the 2 fours. He has run himself into the ground and run Scotland ragged. It comes to an end, but look who's coming out now, Lenny. It is the folk hero, the man who gave us such entertainment 6 days ago, Karen Casey. Can he do it again?
Yeah, the Valentine boy, the Valentine man, well, the Valentine hero of all those years yonder. And on June 2nd here was the second and two. Not as tall a task required from him. Only 6 big ones for KC. If you think about it, 36 required. But what a catch. I have to say, when that ball went up with the swirling wind and having to run a long way across to his left, I had every thought that that catch would go down and maybe even spill off towards the rope. He's on his debut. A brilliant, brilliant catch. Holding it under the maximum of pressure with his captain in his eye line too. Keep your eyes on that young man in the future, Mackenzie Jones. Incredible skills from him. Hold on, under the maximum of pressures. It ends a fantastic partnership, a century partnership, and the two great old pals, Sompal Kami and Karen Casey, are left with another chapter to write in their incredible legacy for this country. They have it all to do. Scotland are favourites, there's no doubt. They need 3 good deliveries to close it out, but don't rule out Karen Casey. And gets off the mark immediately. Cammy's quick and thinks of the second. Casey sets off for it. Throw goes to the keeper's end. Cross palms it round the corner. And results a single.
Honest to goodness. How can we just have these two teams playing each other all the time? Scotland and Nepal. Don't they provide some excitement and entertainment?
It was all happening here. Cammy's not even looking back. He just sets off immediately after one little look over his shoulder. KC wanted it, then he said no. Throw came in to Cross, who had to dive. It actually hit Cammy in the back. As this goes straight up, it goes over the shoulder of Munsey. They will get back for the second this time. And still the boundaries aren't coming. Nepal are just staying in the hunt because of all these twos that they've been running.
Well, the previous pairing with Airee and with Kami out there, their understanding running between the wickets was so good as we see him try to carve that ball away. But now you've got Karen Casey in there with, well, will they have the same understanding running between the wickets? Not quite as quick as Airee.
Clubbed into the leg side. He's got a good piece of it. Has he got enough? Oh, yes, he has. A flying fielder dives over the rope, but he heaves it for 6. KC was the hero in the first game. Is Sompal Kami writing his name up in lights today? It's 211 for 7.
Well, he's chosen his moment, hasn't he? That ball, he shuffled across and gave himself the room to be able to play that shot. Played it beautifully, up and into the wind and let it to rest.
And that's the key, isn't it? Hitting with the wind. Might have just got a little bit too predictable. Kami knew the angle of ball was coming, managed to shuffle across and heave it into the leg side. Fantastic execution from Sompal Kami. And who writes this young man's scripts? It's going to be a 20-year-old on his international debut who's just taken a brilliant catch. It looks like he's maybe going to be entrusted to bowl the 48th and the 50th over. Has that extra pace, has that extra bounce. Can he handle the pressure? What a way to make your international debut.
Well, it's a huge call by Richie Berrington and shows he said when he presented him his cap to Mackenzie Jones, we will be right behind you all the way. Well, if this isn't a captain right behind his debutant, I don't know what is. Run rate required now, just 9 runs from these final 3 overs.
Big pressure on the young man. Karen Casey. Obliterated out of round. The broad shoulders of the man from the far west doing it again for Nepal. The 300 comes up for just the second time in Nepal's ODI history. There's every chance they might just break their record total and break their record run chase here. Are they in control, Mel?
Well, and break Scottish hearts as well. And the Valentine man is becoming a specialist at breaking Scotland hearts. Tough initiation for Mackenzie Jones.
KC guides it away straight to the fielder. Such is the pressure, the fielder doesn't even throw it, George Munsey. Even the men in the circle aren't saving the single now.
Well, the problem was Mackenzie Jones, he was halfway down the pitch and his follow through. No one back at the stumps, and that was probably the end where there was the best chance of affecting a run out. Calm, it's always so calm, Richie Berrington. Just trying to instill confidence.
Well, the cardiac kid's doing it again. Heart rate's elevating, pulses leaping. Top edge, going to go over the head of the keeper, over the head of George Munsey. It's going to fly to the rope. Nepal, well, are they eking closer? Are they sensing history in Scotland? Scotland must be thinking, surely not again. Look at the 12th player. They're doing their thing for Nepal yet again.
Unbelievable stuff. It's gone for the risk. Just gets the top edge, but he's got enough on it. And boy, oh boy, I think they're in the box seat now, Lenny, or is there another twist to come?
There's always another twist, Mel. There's always a twist in this league. 16 to win off 15. You can sense a wicket's going to come for the young man now and give us another agonising moment. What a chase it's been, whatever happens from here. Incredible from Nepal. Dug in, good bouncer. Really good bouncer, nothing wrong with that. A crucial dot ball, the first dot ball in what feels like an eternity.
I can't actually remember the last one, but this is what Mackenzie Jones has, that extra height, the ability to just bang the ball in. And we saw him take wickets with it earlier. Boy, wouldn't they love him to do that again now. But a dot ball, almost as valuable at this moment in time. They need some more of them.
Desperately need a wicket, Scotland. Dug in, and it's another dot ball. Back-to-back dots. First time that's happened in a long time. Nepal having done all of the hard work, it's sometimes almost harder to get over the line, isn't it? Don't need big hits now. Ones and twos will do.
But this is terrific from Mackenzie Jones after being hit for 6 and 4 in the first 3 balls. He's just employed that short ball really well. Given it that little bit of extra kick of pace. But can he get out of the over with another?
16 to win off 13. Jones delivers. Kami hits it up. Charlie Tier goes back and juggles and holds on. Somehow a kick of the ball afterwards, and Kami's odyssey is going to end. And it does go to Jones. There is always a twist and turn between these two sides. Scotland fight back. The debutant is 3. Are we going all the way again?
Oh, I can't take it, Lenny. He does get that extra bounce again, and it draws the top edge. Well taken in the end after the initial juggle. Boy, oh boy, how fast is Charlie Tier's heart racing right now? Oh, Sompal Kami, it's been a wonderful innings from him. Can't see at home. What have we got coming next? I can't tell you because my heart race is racing like it's never raced before. 2 overs remaining. Oh, boy. But what an over for Mackenzie Jones, playing in his first international match for Scotland.
And look at the questions that are being asked, and really, particularly this 49th over, they're worried, aren't they, Mel, about that leg side. They're worried about how do they find a way to cope with that leg side and the breeze, because KC, he knows that Sandeep Lamachani can bat, there's no doubt about that, but he won't get much assistance from Lalit Rajbanshi. So I think he's going to maybe look for 1, if not 2 big hits in this penultimate over that will likely be bowled, not by Charlie Castle, but a change in bowling. Brandon McMullen. How is McMullen now the one who's chosen to bowl at the death? Another twist, another turn. Lamachani will be at the non-strikers end. It ends a career best innings from Sompal Kami. What a knock it was. It's the highest aggregate match ever in the history of Scotland and Nepal ODIs. It's already within 2 runs of Nepal's highest ever total, but it won't matter for anything if they can't get these final 16 runs. 16 to win off the final 2 overs, and so much rest on the shoulders as Sufton of the broad-shouldered Karen KC.
Oh, Brandon McMullen, not a noted death bowler, but He's been forced into this role now in bowling the penultimate over. He's bowled well today.
Here we go. 2 overs left. Looks for the Yorker, digs it in, and KC loses his bat. So with it, he'll lose any chance of getting a second. As McMullen looks to have done himself a nuisance as well in his follow through. Such drama yet again. McMullen looks in real trouble here.
Oh, he is barely able to hobble back. I hope he hasn't done anything serious. It was a terrific delivery.
Does bowl a good Yorker, Brandon McMullen. Doesn't use it too often because he's noted as a length bowler, but this, the perfect Yorker. KC, his follow through, lost his bat, he lost his footing, he ended up falling over. It's all happening again. Will McMullen be able to complete this over, or will they have to turn back to Charlie Castle? It looks certain that the 20-year-old on debut, it looks like he's going to bowl the 50th and final, if we get there, of course. 15 to win off 11. McMullen's just going to find a way to get through it.
He just gave the thumbs up to the umpire, but he's clearly not comfortable. You can see the grimace in his face. Just trying to work out what he's done.
Sandeep Lamachani to face his first delivery. Gets enough to get at least a single. Will Karen KC want the second? He thinks against it, probably rightly so. Means he'll keep the strike. Surely the approach here with that wind blowing so heavily to the leg side, the shorter boundary, Mel, has to be for KC to get at least one boundary this over to that shorter side.
I'd say he'll be going for 6. He'll try and get it up into the wind. This is a brave effort from McMullen too. He's not comfortable. He keeps going.
14 to win off 10 again. It's into the block hole. Lamachani was a bit slow to get off the mark. The fumble won't allow the second. After so much brilliant running, that wasn't a particularly good piece of running. They could have got 2 there, and they didn't. Is the game swinging Scotland's way now? 13 to win off 9. You sense Nepal need a boundary.
Well, they do need one. And again, Berrington just taking his time here, calming things down. You can see that he knows that McMullen has just bowled those Yorkers really well. Now he's got Lamachani to bowl at. It's so tight, this game, Lenny. I can't pick it.
13 to win off 9. Don't rule out the super over. 12 off 9 would send us off to that. In the gathering gloom. Doesn't deliver it. I think he's just lost his footing as opposed to anything else. The Nepal fans and the Scottish fans, everyone on their feet. It's freezing cold still, isn't it? Bitterly cold. Who's it going to be, Mel?
No, I can't pick it. You don't put this on me. I cannot pick it, Lenny. It's just, God, just cardiac kids.
Mel's calling the door. Full toss, smoke down towards long off. Who fields cleanly will be just the single. Lamachani gets KC on strike. Maybe not the worst result. Surely KC is thinking a boundary one of these 2 deliveries.
Has to be. Can he get it up into the wind? Do we find another Yorker out of Brandon McMullen? He knocked him off his feet before.
Hits it towards long on. Hits it wide of long on. Does get the boundary. And Karen KC is at it again. It's 8 to win. There's 7 balls to do it. Scotland, Nepal, there's something in the water between these 2.
It went for the Yorker. Maybe didn't get it quite as full this time, but it's played beautifully by the broad-shouldered Karen Casey. Is he going to be the hero for the second time in a week for Nepal? Might have to share the honours with a few others.
8 to win off 7. KC on strike. Gets an inside edge. I think he'll just want the single. He wants the strike. He wants to do it his way. He wants to get them home again. He'd like to do it, not going to the final ball. Here's the shot down the ground. The long on fielder, Mel, was wide because of the wind. And that big pocket down there in the corner, it's almost impossible to defend with just 6 deliveries left. Just 317 for 8 Nepal. 7 to win. The most extraordinary comeback you'd maybe ever witness.
Aside from the one 6 days ago, Lenny. It really is something else. And what I love to see is this belief that the Nepal side had in their ability with the bat. We saw it 6 days ago on this very ground. Are we seeing it again? They don't feel like there's any limits on what they can do, what they can chase down. And
it's a new belief, Mel, isn't it?
It is.
Instilled by Stuart Law, the calmness. I'm not sure if Stuart Law is calm. It's not going to be the debutant to bowl the final over. Where is Stuart's left there? If we look to the left, Nick Pothis is on his feet. Welcome to cricket in Nepal. Gyanendra Malla is there with him. And then Stuart Law's hiding in behind the Nepal flag, talking to the vice captain. Stuart Law's just saying to Nick Pothis, yeah, this is how it usually goes, mate, with the cardiac kids. It's going to be Safi and Sharif. Who will it be? Sharif or KC? Chipped up in the air. Does it get over the head of Charlie Tier? It does. He's probably going to cut it off. I think they'll just run the two. They're thinking of the third. Lamachani wants it, but Case wants to take a six will do it. A six will win it for Nepal. There's a punch of the bat in frustration from KC. He thought that was going to be that.
Well, a shout out to Charlie Tier, because that was brilliant fielding. Wasn't going to get there. Look at the speed at which he chases it down, and the turn and quick release. Didn't get all the way in, but it was enough to stop them from taking an extra run.
Short ball. Is there glove on this? Massive appeal. No. KC did have a little bit of a guilty look back. This will make for an interesting replay. Good short ball. Surprise delivery from Safi and Sharif.
I'll just take another look. It was a good short ball.
Oh, now, has that come off something? There was a guilty look, wasn't there, from Karen KC. Not much of an appeal from Matthew Cross, a big appeal from Sharif. We're going all the way again. It's 5 to win, 4 balls to do it. KC on strike. Goes miles up. Fine leg, nestles underneath it, and holds on! Sharif roars! It's the debutant again! Jones takes the catch, and it's only Raj Banchi in the hutch. The tactic of going short. Brilliant from Sharif. Brave from him. What a catch. Not for the first time, the second time from the debutant. And if Nepal are going to do it, they're going to do it 9 down again.
Oh, Mackenzie Jones, what a day out he's having on debut. His third catch of the match. He's taken a couple of wickets. Again, had so much time to think about it. Dropped in front of him. Remember, the wind is hurling around, but look at that. Yes!
Pumped up, to say the least. 2 extraordinary catches under the maximum of pressure. And with Lalit Rajbanshi really not known for his batting, there's only going to be one way Nepal will win this now. Rajbanshi will have to get a single and leave it to Lamachani to have 1 or 2 balls to hit a boundary to win it. Casey's gone for 17 off 10. He won't be the hero today. And Nepal are right on the brink. But are they going to be able to get over the line? 5 to win off 3. It's another all-time classic in Dundee. Whatever happens.
Can't take this. I can't take this.
Incredible scenes. What a catch. 2 quite brilliant catches with the wind, with everything going about. All the fans in the background really cheering for it to be dropped. What incredible presence of mind from the young man. He almost doesn't know what to do. Such was his delight. And Safi and Sharif roared too. A belter. Maybe even better than 6 days ago, whatever the result. Can Rajbanshi get a single? Will Berrington be tempted to squeeze his fielders in? I think they'll know Rajbanshi well enough to know he's unlikely to hit a boundary. Surely he will look for one and look to hand it over to Lamachani to win it for Nepal.
Oh, what an over this has been at the death from Sharif. Really smart. The experience and the calm, and the calmest man out there looks like Richie Berrington. I don't know how he does it.
Nobody's on the single, really. Can Rajbanshi get one to give Lamachani the strike? Here we go. It's the Yorker. They're going to run it anyway, and they'll get the bye. Whoa. I think Matthew Cross got caught in 2 minds, whether to throw at the stumps or whether to get it back to Sharif. A great call from Sandeep Lamachani. Brilliant presence of mind from him. And he's got the chance to be the winning hero now.
Well, he had the glove on. He was in 2 minds. Lamachani had set off so quickly. Oh, boy.
Very good game awareness. Very, very impressive. It's going to come down to the barest of margins yet again. Whatever happens here, 323 for 6 Scotland made in the first innings, thanks to that late assault, making 120 off the final 10 overs. It's 4 to win. They've got 2 balls to do it. They could do it with 2 twos. I don't think they'll run a single. Don't think they'll leave it up to Rajbanshi. It's going to be on Lamachani's shoulders either way. Where does Sharif go? Does he bang it into the surface or does he go full?
Oh, well, that's the discussion they're having right now. Richie Berrington and Safian Sharif.
There's an agonising calm just across the ground now.
It's not calm, it's anxiety, Lenny. What are you talking about?
The crowd have been becalmed because of the nerves and the anxiety. Still no one on the single. Those in the deep, though, are 5-10 yards off the rope at long on. And deep mid-wicket, Lamachani, 4 to win, 2 balls to do it. Bowled into the slot. Can they hustle to get the second? They're going to think about it. I don't think it's going to be possible. And remarkably, with Sharif nailing the Yorker, it's going to be up to number 11, Lalit Rajbanshi, to try and scramble 2 to get us to the super over. Or can he find an outside edge and find a boundary to win it?
Brilliant from Sharif, and it was the fielding, his own fielding off that delivery that prevented the extra run as well. Has the brilliantly executed Yorker. Again, the discussions are on, the wheels are turning in the brains as they try and work out where they put their fielders to try and eliminate the extra run.
I think the umpire there, Ghazi, was just confirming that we will be off to the super over with a 2. I think that's what he's confirming to the Scottish team. So 1 doesn't matter. If it's a single of any kind, it will be Scotland that win it and pull it out of the fire in the most dramatic of circumstances. 2 are off to the super over. 3 or more, surely they're not going to run a 3, but any boundary will win it for Nepal. Lalit Rajbanshi is not known for his batting. He's a fine left arm spinner. He's probably never really been in a position like this before in his 26-year-old life. His highest score in his career is just 11 across 62 internationals. But if he hits a boundary here, he'll be known as the best batter ever to come out of Nepal. It's going to be 2 for the super over. 4 or 6 will win it. The ball feels like it's going to take an eternity to bowl. Very wisely, the man at deep third is going back, but that means somebody else has to come up, and that is going to be mid-on. I think he's probably going to look to go full. Can Rajbanshi manufacture a boundary? Whatever they've got to do, they've got to keep running Nepal. If they can run 2, we'll have the super over.
Well, the Yorker has worked well for him so far. What an amount of pressure to come onto one of Scotland's most experienced heads in this side. Safian Sharif comes down to him.
Here we go. It all comes down to this. 2 for the super over. 3 or more to win. Bowls him! Bowls him, bowls him, bowls him, and Scotland win! Not Nepal this time. A heroic effort from everyone, but Safian Sharif's experience and class has got Scotland over the line. All in Rajbanshi and a devastatingly disappointed Sandeep Lamachane too. Nepal have pushed Scotland right to the brink, but it wasn't to be today. We've witnessed another epic. Somehow Scotland have won by 2 runs.
Unbelievable. What have we witnessed today? In the end, Safian Sharif takes 2 wickets in the final over. I thought Nepal were home and hosed, but just at the end, the catching from the debutant in Mackenzie Jones, the bowling at the end from Safian Sharif, the calm head of Richie Berrington. They are able to defend what it seemed impossible. Look at them. They're out on their feet. It has been an incredible game.
Here's the winning moment. He got it full. He got it straight. And perfect. It's the top of middle. And Safian Sharif, often the unsung hero. He picks up 2 wickets. Look at the joy and the delight. Quite brilliant, the fight back. Remember, he was expensive earlier in his spell, and he was the one chosen with the extra experience. Scotland is still looking shocked, shell shocked. They can't believe they've won it. Another one of the great all-time ODIs belongs to here in ICC Men's Cricket World Cup League 2. Ultimately, Associate Cricket the winner. Yet again, Scotland the worthy victors by 2 runs.
And